Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Magnificent Monday morning to you as well. Welcome to all of you everywhere. Thank you so much for being patient. We are apologizing to you at the moment for a slight delay in the start to our show today, but we are here together, one with the other. And I want to encourage you to continue being good to self. And being good to self means also being good to others. To those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb, to all of you, thank you for waking up to keep us company. Thank you for being patient. We encourage you to share the show as we always do every single day as we build community. And of course, if you know of someone or something that has to be told by us, tell us about it. You know it, so tell us about it. And you do so by sending us an email. The email address is right there at the bottom of your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And we thank you for sharing that information with us as well. So, how was your weekend? How was your yesterday, as a matter of fact? Yesterday, as you know, across the globe in Christendom was Palm Sunday. And so many of us, many of you got out, no doubt, to be a part of that celebration of the triumphal entry of Jesus on a donkey, not on a chariot, not on some war horse. He came on a simple little beast known as a donkey. And so everyone shouted Hosanna, but they thought that he was the savior at the time when they were shouting, but little they didn't know that he truly was the savior of the world. So we're about to embark in a very serious way on Holy Week this week, which comes with many, many different moods. Because following his triumphal entry, he went on the Monday, into the temple, and he cleansed the temple, chased everything out. In other words, starting afresh. And then he cursed the fig tree. The fig tree on Tuesday withered and died. And all of those are symbolic. Churches are open all across the island to welcome you this Holy Week into reflective services. And I hope you take the time to better understand, when you attend church, what this moment means in your life and how you can recognize and really truly appreciate the sacrifice made by Jesus, God's only Son, on your behalf indeed. And so, Holy Week is on. Get out to all of the churches this week and do so. So this morning, we want to take a look at some Easter traditions. We also want to hear from one of our chefs as to how we can cook up meals that are, while traditional, different. And so we'll hear from him in just a little while as well. Before we get too deeply into the show, I want to reflect for just a moment on what Friday meant to many of Barbados young people and to many of us as Barbadians, because all of us went to a secondary school, and most of those secondary schools were at BSAC, as they showed and laid it all out on the track on Friday, over the last few days really of that week. And so at the end of it all, when the dust was settled, who were the winners, you ask? Look at your screen. The overall winners in the boys, Combermere School, and in the girls, the St. Michael's School. So congratulations to everyone. The victress Ludorum was Haley Merritt of Harrison College, and the Victor Ludorum from the St. Leonard's Boys School, well deserved, in Alex Jones Eiffel. So great, great results. This week, in Grenada, at the end of this week, over the Easter weekend, all eyes will then turn to the Caregiver Games in Grenada. And of course, Barbados has a large contingent this time around. We expect some wonderful returns, and so we're looking forward to seeing them do what they do best in track and field in Grenada for this Easter weekend for Caregiver Games. So there's a lot to look forward to. This morning also, we'll be walking you through some of the programs on offer in the law faculty at the University of the West Indies, as this is their week. And there are many reasons for which you can read the law. We'll be taking you into the Memory Cafe. I know you hear that and you think, but what can one eat in the Memory Cafe? Well, you'll see in just a moment what's being served up in the Memory Cafe. And it's Easter in our Caribbean land, and so as we did at Christmas, we'll do at Easter. We'll connect with our colleagues from Trinidad and Tobago and St. Vincent and the Grenadines to hear how in those two nations in the region they mark the Eastertide. So there's a lot to look forward to indeed, and so we'll take a break right here and we'll get started in the Memory Cafe in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 after the hour. Now let's get into the Memory Cafe. I know, as I asked at the top of the show, what's on the menu in the Memory Cafe? Would you get some mobby, lemonade, or would you get a hamburger? I don't know. But we'll find out what's in the menu, on the menu, and in the Memory Cafe, as we're joined by social workers today. And I do have with me Sabrina Waith, who is a final year student of social work. Good morning to you, Sabrina.
Good morning, person.
Good to have you. And back with us is our good friend Jakeem Seeley, who is a social worker in himself of many years. Good morning, Jakeem, as well.
Good morning, sir.
All right. So, Memory Cafe, the name triggers all sorts of thoughts.
Oh, yes.
What is the Memory Cafe?
Yes, although it triggers thoughts of mobby and lemonade, it actually is a safe space for persons living with dementia or memory loss and their caregivers. So we provide that space, activities, guidance on how to caretake and those types of things in that space. So
in a cafe, we go to the cafe, it's a brief moment. You don't spend the whole day in the cafe.
No.
It's a brief moment, but it's also a relaxation moment as well. And is that the intention when you invite people into the Memory Cafe?
Yes, definitely. It's just 2 hours on the last Saturday of every month. And when persons come in with it's usually caregivers and their loved ones. And when they come into the cafe, it's that stigma-free environment. It's that moment to breathe and to know that your experience is relatable with other caregivers. And per your persons with memory loss, your loved ones, they're also catered to in that space.
You're a social worker into your final year, yes. But you're a young woman too. What have you learned so far about dementia that probably took you by surprise?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say at the beginning, it would be that Alzheimer's and dementia are not the same thing. Dementia is the umbrella term, and Alzheimer's is actually 60 to 80% of dementia cases. So it's often used interchangeably, but that's not the reality.
Draw me the difference.
Yes. So dementia, there are different types of dementia. There's frontal lobe dementia, frontal temporal dementia, and there are different types of memory loss through the stroke and it may not just be Alzheimer's.
You're right. So, Jakeem, I'll tell you, I'm a Coronation Street fan.
Yeah.
One of the characters right now is going through frontal lobe, something, what is it called?
Frontal temporal.
Frontal temporal lobe.
That one.
Yeah.
And is that the one to which Sabrina was just referring?
Yeah. You said you're a Coronation fan?
Coronation Street.
Okay.
Do you know Coronation Street?
No, please. No.
All right, then. So tell me what this temporal thing.
Well, as Sabrina would have said, Alzheimer's is the most prominent form of dementia that we have. Frontal temporal lobe dementia, it is not as rare as Alzheimer's, but it does affect, as the term suggests, the frontal lobe aspects of your brain, and which would thereby influence your motor skills and your memory and all of those other aspects that the frontal temporal lobe of your brain deal with. But I just want to add to what Sabrina was saying as it relates to Alzheimer's and dementia. I don't know if you know this person, but research have told us that every 3 seconds, someone across the world is diagnosed with dementia. And that calculates to 10 million new cases every year. As of 2020, there are 55 million persons across the world who are living with dementia. So when you look at some of the risk factors for dementia, as I would often tell some of my colleagues and family and friends, Barbados is in a perfect storm. For example, Pearson, one of the major risk factors for dementia, and follow me here, high blood pressure, diabetes, excessive alcoholic consumption. When you mention those three terms and you think of Barbados, we are prone with a lot of diabetes, hypertension, and you know we love our drinks. So a lot of persons don't know that there are actually modifiable risk factors. Another one I could mention is vision loss. You know, quite recently the government had a drive encouraging persons to get their eyes checked. And I would encourage persons all across Barbados to get your eyes checks. Additionally, get your ears checked as well, because hearing loss, especially around midlife, like you and I, Pearson, we're in midlife, especially around that time, are actually risk factors and preventable risk factors for the development of Alzheimer's and by extension dementia. So there are things that we can do as individuals while we are young that can minimize and reduce dementia in terms of its prevalence and in terms of its extent.
Reduce but not stop it.
Not so. Obviously, as I said, there are 14 modifiable risk factors, but non-modifiable, sorry, but they're also there are 14 non-modifiable risk factors, but there are also risk factors that you cannot change, like for example, age and genetics. If you have a mother and a father who has some kind of dementia, the probability is quite high that you may develop it, right? So there are genetic components. As I said, the number one risk factor for dementia is actually age. So once you reach the age of 65, there's a possibility that you may be on that trajectory for dementia. You can't cure it, but you know.
Isn't that simply just forgetting? So why do we have to give it a label called dementia when you're just simply forgetting as anyone naturally would?
Yeah, but of course there's a difference between forgetting and dementia. As Sabrina said, dementia is actually a brain disease, and a lot of research have shown that a lot of the causes for dementia, there are different streams of research out there, but one of the causes that they're saying for dementia is there's a limitation in a protein called the tau protein that flows through the blood and by extension the brain. But dementia and by extension Alzheimer's is a brain disease. It is not simple memory loss, because as a brain disease, as you move from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 of dementia, the brain deteriorates. You can have memory loss as a result of stress, depression. You know, you may be tired, you may be exhausted, but when you have memory loss as a result of dementia, there unfortunately is no coming back. It gets progressively worse.
Sabrina, in your study of this as a social worker,
Yes.
can you define a category of people more susceptible to dementia, or is it doesn't matter?
Well, yes. Persons as Jakeem would have said, in midlife and older, they are more susceptible to memory loss. And sometimes they're slightly aware of, you know, the changes, yes. It's like your brain is deleting files. And as you said about forgetting, it's not just forgetting, because you might put down your keys, you might forget where you put them and be able to retrace your steps. Dementia is more like you put your keys down and you don't even know why you have keys. And so yes, that's later on in life, but I will use this time to also mention that younger persons can also experience dementia as well. As I mentioned, whether it be stroke, it could be seizures as well, and these different health experiences could result in dementia. So although the older category, we must also keep in mind that younger persons can be susceptible to dementia.
We oftentimes, whether anecdotally or otherwise, say, you know, oh my gosh, it's such a pity that this person was so brilliant in their youth and suddenly now they're like a vegetable because they've forgotten everything they've done. And you then tend to link that to a label, thinking that those who were so educated, who are operating in certain professions, are more likely than not to begin to forget. I use that word liberally. Is that what you're finding?
No,
Okay.
I can't say
Good.
that.
So there's a little hope for me still. And Jackie, you wanted to jump in on that one?
Yes, actually, Pearson, again, as it relates to the 14 modifiable risk factors, and this by the Lancet as an evidence-based research group, less education is actually a risk factor. So persons are encouraged, right, to, as you get older, continue to educate yourself, continue to play chess, play draft, get involved in activities that strengthen your brain, because persons, there's a correlation, not because correlation is not causation. There's a correlation between less education while you were young and dementia as you get older. So actually we're encouraging persons actually as you get older in life. Don't say, man, I'm too old to learn, I'm too old to go to school. Do your masters, go to BCC, do something that keeps your brain ticking, because that can actually help solidify your brain cells and make it more unlikely for you to actually get dementia or reduce the prevalence of it. You know,
keep the brain active. Keep the brain active. But the memory cafe is for caregivers as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes caregivers get low sight of themselves while taking care of people with dementia. Let's talk a little bit about that and what the memory cafe offers as a respite for those who care.
Okay, so Memory Cafe Barbados really helps with, as you mentioned, caregivers, because burnout is real. In Barbados, we find that people want to drink water and mind their business or handle things privately. But that isolation is problematic, because when it comes to a point where caregivers are asking for help, it's at a point where they're in crisis or they're burnt out, right? And what Memory Cafe does, we offer that space even at those early stages before you reach that crisis, to come and meet other persons where their experience is the same as yours. It's similar to yours. And we offer activities, as I mentioned, and we also offer that support. So that's what we offer to caregivers at that beginning stage, because most caregivers in Barbados are informal caregivers. They're family members, their loved ones, a spouse, a granddaughter even, who isn't trained in that area on how to give that care that is necessary. So when you come out to Memory Cafe, you receive that information. You can, you'll know about the different stages, and it'll be an environment where there's no stigma. There isn't even the need for a diagnosis when coming to the Memory Cafe.
But what else happens in the Memory Cafe, and how can you as a caregiver also benefit from what's on offer in the Memory Cafe? We'll take a break and we'll come back taking a deeper look into what it means to manage someone with dementia and how you can get better at it. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes after 6 o'clock as we continue journeying through the activity Memory Cafe Barbados, put on by social workers of Barbados. And when we took the break, we were trying to figure out what happens when one comes to the Memory Cafe. So many of us have loved ones who are living with dementia or Alzheimer's, and so generally, one, we need to understand what the difference is, and then we need to know how to respond when we are aware of what those differences are. And so, Jakeem Seeley, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the techniques and some of the things that do happen when caregivers get together so that you can strengthen each other.
Okay, well, as Sabrina was saying, Memory Cafe, we meet once a month, last Saturday, third Saturday of the month for 2 hours, and we seek to provide social support for caregivers and by extension their loved ones. The whole premise, the whole foundation of Memory Cafe is to provide social support. Is because social support person is extremely important. A lot of persons may not know this, but for caring for someone with dementia is, according to the research, one of the most difficult experiences of caring you can encounter. And in many instances, the caregiver ends up becoming sick. And if the caregiver doesn't really take care of themselves, they can end up dying before their loved one. So at Memory Cafe, we provide that space and we facilitate social support. For example, we engage in a lot of craft and music therapy. We provide that space where caregivers in a non-judgmental environment, they can feel safe to share their experiences and by extension learn vicariously from other caregivers about what they're experiencing. There's something called vicarious learning where I learn from you and you learn from me. I learn from you how to manage the sundowning experience. I learn from you how to manage when my loved one is walking away. Walking away from home. I learn from you how to manage when my loved one is cursing me, where I choose not to respond, where I clearly understand this is not my loved one 20 years ago. This is actually the dementia that is speaking. And therefore, I don't take, when the loved one abuse me, I don't take it personal. So we, for example, as I said, things like music therapy, arts and craft, all of these things that the caregivers and their loved one can do. And you might be surprised that these little activities, like example, music influences all parts of the brain at the same time. So exposure to music therapy and to art and craft where they can use their hands and where the caregiver and their loved one can feel important. You know, they're not just at home in a room listening to the radio or watching TV. They engage in activities that actually work on certain aspects of their brain that may be deteriorating at that point in time.
These are examples that you share with the caregiver, different things that they can do.
And we do them as well in the cafe.
Okay.
You know, we do them as well
with the caregiver.
With the caregivers and their loved ones as well. Because as Sabrina was said, the caregiver is present and also their loved one. And we engage in all of those activities at the cafe.
It is some of the most difficult moments in time. It truly is, because you've fallen in love with someone who is now almost, it feels as if they're now falling out of love with you. And so you're trying to manage that change in a way that is respectful and at the same time very hurtful. Especially when they begin to forget who you are. That's rough. I know you've had that experience as a social worker. So the social worker therefore needs a respite. They need to be able to, for just a moment, get away and take care of self. And the Memory Cafe allows that, because they're now in an environment where everybody shares this load and not just they themselves.
Yes, exactly. And Memory Cafe, as Jakeem would have mentioned, there's that music therapy, there is that arts and craft. So while engaging in those activities, when you're comfortable, you start to talk. So persons start to talk about their experiences and they can connect with others, but they're also connecting with social workers. They're also connecting where they can gain those resources that they may need, that they would not be willing to ask for in a normal setting. So in this setting, it is the opportunity to get that help. It's that opportunity for social support. It's like refreshing yourself so when you enter into the next month, you are prepared for that experience.
I'm convinced now it's a good place to be. Where is this Memory Cafe? Everybody's asking, oh, don't go to Bay Street. Where is the Memory Cafe?
Oh, that's a great question, Pearson. What we're actually aiming to do is have a cafe in every parish so that it is accessible to every community. So we've been going around to different parishes, different resource centers. You can follow us on Instagram at Memory Cafe Barbados, or look at our website at memorycafebarbados.com. And we have a telephone number so that if anyone's interested, they can reach out to us and we'll be able to share that information on where the next cafe is.
All right, so you're mobile. You don't have necessarily a home base, or do you?
No, we don't have a home base.
So you move around the island, and from time to time you let us know. Look at your screen, everybody. You will see information, where to find them, and the telephone numbers to call if you need to get more information, or the email address to which you can send an email requesting further information. But you'll be moving around, going parish to parish, and for just a moment, you're creating an atmosphere where caregiver and client can sit together and to be able to understand other techniques that can manage the process right through that. Shakim, there are younger and younger people who are now thrust with this responsibility. It's now thrust upon them because people had children at a later age, and then there are some families that are single child, and so they find themselves having to do this, and oftentimes it falls on the girl child to take care of this. And so let's talk a little bit about that, and what as a social worker you would want to advise anyone who finds himself in that environment.
Well, as Sabrina would have alluded to earlier, caregiver burnout and caregiver stress are real. As I said before, and the research confirms this, caring for a loved one with dementia is extremely difficult. It is more challenging in terms of stats, in terms of its effect on you than actually caring for someone who may have heart disease. I'm just saying what the research have shown. However, I would encourage caregivers to reach out. Go to your GP, go to your psychologist, go to your psychiatrist. Anytime you feel that you are not managing as you think you should, there's nothing wrong with reaching out. So that's the first order of business. So as a social worker, I would encourage persons to reach out. You're not alone in this. And that's why Memory Cafe is here, to let you know you are not alone. Dementia, and we really, as a Memory Cafe Barbados, we would love to see Barbados become a dementia-friendly society where persons are not judged, or they're not stigmatized because of memory loss, right? And we got a long way to get there, but that is our aim, to see Barbados become a dementia-friendly society where people are conscious that, you know what, 10 years from now, this could be me. And I just want to add to the public of Barbados, a lot of the research have shown that the first symptom of dementia could occur 20 years prior, right? In other words, you could be 40 years. And you could have streams of dementia and Alzheimer's inside of you. And the first actual symptom could manifest at 60. So right now, my body may be in that pathway of dementia. Right now, Pearson, your body may be in that pathway of dementia as a result of diabetes, as a result of high blood pressure, vascular dementia, as a result of obesity, as a result of vision loss, as a result of hearing loss, as a result of all of these things, all of these non-communicable diseases that we are so concerned about, and we should, because there's a correlation between the presence of non-communicable diseases and dementia. So caregivers in Barbados, reach out to your medical practitioner, take your medication, exercise, sleep well, do what you have to do to care for yourself. For by extension and caring for yourself, you'll be more equipped to care for your loved one. So my first advice to caregivers will be to reach out.
There's some common things, traits that one sees in people with dementia, but then there are some that are not so common. And so not every case of dementia is going to manifest in the same way. That's the whole point. So don't just charge and think, oh, you're going to be rude, we're ready for you today. You have to live it at moment by moment as the client responds, and to be adaptive in that kind of way as well. And so the social worker helps where that's concerned. Memory Cafe Barbados helps where that's concerned again. So once again, if we can put up the information on the screen, if we can, Mr. Producer inside, show people how to make contact with Memory Cafe Barbados and the fact that you're moving around. Where are you traveling to next, Sabrina?
We're going to be at the St. Mark's Resource Centre at the end of April.
Okay.
Yes.
I've got to wait so long. At the end of April to St. Mark's Resource Centre. That's where they'll be in St. Philip for all of those in St. Philip who are managing this. Look at your screen. Find out how to reach out to Memory Cafe Barbados and reach out. There's help at the other end of that line. There's help at the other end of that email. So sometimes we sit and we throw our hands in the air and think no one cares. Memory Cafe Barbados cares. The social workers, the professional social workers of Barbados care. And so I want you to reach out in a very big way today and ease your burden. Ease your burden just a moment. At the end of April, St. Mark's Resource Centre, we're coming to you with the Memory Cafe. So be prepared to come out and share, have that experiential moment where together with others who are in the same boat as you, we swim and we make our way to shore. And you learn so many other techniques to help you manage the moments as they occur as well. Sabrina and Jakim, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. Wish you well with all of your outreach as it unfolds as well, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Sabrina Waith and Jakim Seeley, social workers, professional social workers of Barbados. Sabrina's almost on the cusp of it because she's in her final year, and we're looking forward to encouraging her to be a part of the social worker fabric of Barbados as well. Thank you. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous rotating
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
20 to 7 as we get ready for Easter. We're thinking what's on the plate, what's on your menu, and of course our good friend, our buddy here from Caribbean, Chef Adrian Cumberbatch is with us. Chef Adrian, good morning.
Good morning again.
Adrian is from here on then. I'll call you Adrian.
Yes, please.
All right, Adrian, we have Easter traditions that say to us generally on Good Friday, fish, only eat fish. And on Easter Sunday, you can have whatever you want to eat.
Correct.
But all Holy Week, you almost want to starve yourself because, you know,
yes,
you keep it to be try to be as modest as possible.
Yeah.
What would you say to all of us today to make meals palatable still and enjoyable until such time?
Until Friday?
Yeah.
But usually this time is the fasting time. But we could be very creative with the fish in terms of if you're going to do it.
What would you do?
Steam it in terms of like with coconut milk and lots of herbs in there, tomatoes.
Well, I don't eat steamed fish, but go ahead.
You don't eat steamed fish?
Nope. Wet food. Go ahead. I don't eat wet food. Yeah.
Grilled fish. Do the traditional grilled fish, and you can look at different types of fish. Mm-hmm. So you got the mahi-mahi or dolphin, it's called. We have the swordfish. I'm a swordfish type of guy. You have kingfish, tuna, the yellowfin. But you could, variety of ways. Your species of fish you choose depends on how you want to grill it, or so that's the traditional frying or just pan searing it.
Right.
And nice, let me fish cook them some things in the coconut milk. I like it cooked down with lots of herbs, lots of flavor inside there. Let's keep it fresh and light. If you're gonna break the fast, they fry it. with the Good Friday fish. I know you don't go to sea on Good Friday and all this. Correct. And then Sunday you got the big showdown, what they call it.
Would you do a sweet and sour fish?
Yes, for sure.
But that's the way I want my fish prepared. I'll say that.
But sweet and sour is a wet type of fish.
Yeah, but it's different.
Okay, fry first.
Yeah. You got the idea.
And then toss it in. Yeah.
Sweet and sour with the sweet and sour.
Yeah, you can do sweet and sour.
And do many people attempt that, do you think?
No.
I don't think so.
No, they don't.
They always think that sweet and sour you do with pork or chicken.
Chicken, correct.
But you can do it with a fish.
Yes.
Have you ever done it?
Yes, I use like sway. I use like a white fish to get a soft texture. It's not too meaty. So it was seasoned the sway, my garlic, onions, thyme, shadow bedding, everything blended nicely, seasoned up nicely. Dust it with some flour, fry it quickly, take up nice and crisp, and then toss it into the sweet and sour.
Let it simmer in there for a little bit. What's this fish?
Sway.
Sway?
SWAI.
There is actually a fish called that?
Yeah.
In Barbados? Supermarket or do I have to go to the fish market?
Supermarkets. You go to Price Mart. Yeah, sorry.
To the retailers, I get it. I rebuke you. And so, but it's not sold in the fish market?
No, it's a foreign fish.
Okay.
The only fish like that, close to that texture, like Bangamiri, or you could use amberjacks. Amberjacks, yeah.
So, sway is one option. Rather than having to go with the regular fish, as you've said, just explore different kinds of fish as well. And so you're suggesting either the swordfish, shark, even?
Barbados, we don't really, some of us like shark, but you won't see us running down shark like that, But,
shark. A question for you. How differently can we treat flying fish, other than just lay it out flat and fry it, bend it in two and stew it, whatever? How else can we treat flying fish that would be interesting for children?
For kids, well, my kids I do flying fish fingers for them, for sure. I just cut them in the...
Oh, so once you bone it, you just keep that line?
That line, and then again, I have my 5-pan method. So there's 3 pans, 2 hands. So...
I got you.
You got me saying?
Yes.
So you don't cross up from back to dry. So I will season up my flying fish still for them, and then add the flour first, then egg wash, then breadcrumbs, and then you roll it into a finger shape, and then deep fry it for them. They would love that for the kids. Curry flying fish. Flying fish doesn't have much versatility, it just...
I know, but it tastes real good.
Yeah, but these flying fish come in real small these days.
Yeah, the little tiny...
You got to eat a whole pack yourself now to get.
Yeah, there's some people who roll it into a ball.
Yeah, that's
whole
traditional.
Fish.
That's traditional. Roll it from tail to head, and then put a toothpick in it and steam it.
But could I put something in between that roll that adds a different flavor? Not necessarily pineapple, but something.
You have to add something like a mousse or something that's soft.
Why, because it's so thin?
Yeah, remember that when you put the stuff inside the flying fish is gonna cook first.
Oh.
And you gotta cook what inside the flying fish.
Yeah, with that. Yeah.
They would get too rubbery or get overcooked. So you probably make a flying fish mousse, blend some, season it up too as well, put it back in flying. If you want to be creative, and roll it back in the flying fish, probably in plastic wrap. That holds together, and then you steam it so it congeals, and then you can sear it or you fry it from there. You get a nice...
You just learned that from Chef Adrian, the one and only. So you just got an idea, folks. That's what you can do with your flying fish. That's a little different. I'm a marlin boy.
Stripe or
I don't know. I don't care.
Blue or stripe.
What's the difference?
The stripe marlin got more of a connective tissues.
Okay.
That they're more, you see more rings,
okay.
And the blue marlin is more cleaner in terms of the...
Well, it's the blue one then.
Yeah, you don't really see much.
I've never checked.
Serious?
I've never checked. I just like marlin.
You buy your fish at the market?
I don't buy... Adrian, I told you already, I don't cook. I don't prepare anything, so therefore it's prepared for me.
Oh, okay.
And so based on that...
But you don't buy your fish? I choose you?
No.
You just turn it up food ready for you?
And there it is.
You're champion, man.
Well... I could champion me then. And so here it is. So what can one do that's different with marlin, for instance?
Marlin again is a stronger fish. You know, you look at the animal and its natural life habitats, right? Pan-sear the marlin, there's not much really you could do. You could pan-sear it. I don't fry marlin really. I don't really like fry marlin. It gets a little bit too chewy, right? Again, steam it down slowly. But you know, when you steam fish, it doesn't have to be wet, you know.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't have to be so. No, if you use a fish like mahi, which have a softer texture, or a snapper, is going to absorb more of the moisture too as well, right? If you got the marlin, it's not going to take that moisture like those other softer types of fish. So it's best that you steam down your marlin nicely, add your fragrances or your flavors inside the ginger and a little turmeric to be a little healthy, you know, in your sauce, and you're good to go.
Okay, so Good Friday we got sorted out, folks. You got that? That's how we're going to handle our fish. We have many different ways of handling our fish, many different types of fish that we can handle for Good Friday as well, rather than the usual. My recommendation is sweet and sour fish. That's my recommendation. Adrian has a totally different recommendation. Go for the swai and do what you want to do with the swai, you know, and enjoy your swai, which you will get, of course, not from the market. You have to go into other places to get your swai.
Correct.
I just like the way that's called, indeed.
Swai.
All right. So what we'll do right here is we'll take a break. When we come back, I want to look at Easter Sunday and just what is Adrian doing for Easter Sunday and a whole lot more right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Very busy, but the very brilliant Chef Adrian Cumberbatch is sitting with us as we get ready to look at our meals in a very serious way. We still have to have a little bit of fun and taste when we sit on Friday or Easter Sunday or even Easter Monday for picnics and so forth. So we were looking at fish, and I know there's some other people, there are people who are watching and saying, but Pearson, boy, if you check the price of fish nowadays, you would even think fish for Good Friday. And what would you say?
Mackerel. Funny thing. So working along with the National Nutrition Center, I learned this year over the last 6 months that not everybody could afford a healthy meal, or so we prepare cuckoo and mackerel. And the mackerel is high in vitamins and minerals and stuff like that too as well. It's very affordable. A very simple recipe. We added like lime juice, peppers, herbs, plenty herbs, no MSG, no salt, no additional thing. And that's the next dish too that you could have. Very simple, traditional with your cuckoo, your breadfruit cuckoo, or your cornmeal cuckoo.
Have you ever done what do you call it? I call it cooked biscuits. Salt biscuit, I don't know.
Cooked biscuits, if you may stuff the fish with?
No, it's a meal. And you put the fish into that meal. You take your biscuits and you cook your biscuits. You let them soak in water and blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
What do you call
that? I can't remember. You put me in the spot there.
Right, there's a term for that.
Correct.
But that, and then you do it with macaronis, and you add your mackerel and stuff to it.
Correct, the mackerel, yeah.
Some potatoes cut in there and everything.
In with cornmeal, it's called 1, 2, 3.
That is what I mean. That is what I mean. We do 1, 2, 3, and we can still have our fish.
Correct.
We don't have to be able to break the bank to be able to enjoy our Good Friday meal with fish. Mackerel is what you suggest.
Correct. I always remember when you're buying fish from the markets, whole fish, you're going to lose 18 to 20% of that fish because of the head and the tail. And all chefs that do a full course, they have to know this too as well. So it's something that's good. Check your price, look around. It's very expensive right now. Fish in Barbados has jumped tremendously. And so it's going to be very expensive unless you know a fisherman or do like my mom. Yeah, she bought go fishing. She let you snap.
Yes, yes.
She like it fried down. Right?
Wow. That's where you learn all your techniques at sea from.
My mom, they call her the fish dentist.
The fish dentist. All right. So we got the fish sorted out.
Yeah.
Easter coming.
Yes,
and on a
please.
Sunday, our traditional meals in Barbados will have lots of chicken or pork or other things as well. What would you prepare for an Easter meal?
Usually on Sunday, Easter Sunday is the full word. So you get the salads for sure, the macaroni salad, potato salad, probably put a 3-bean salad there. The macaroni pie, the sweet potato pie. It kind of like a Christmas, kind of like a Christmas celebration. Have a ham bake inside there, some chicken, the fish, lamb stew or beef stew, which one you prefer.
Yes.
You know, and then got a little carrot cake, some black cake down there. Have a good family there.
You doing this on Sunday?
This Sunday we'll be in Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
I'll be on the beach in Maracas.
What are you doing there?
On Saturday they have the Caribbean Beach Food Festival. So my entire team from Cook Caribbean, we're heading down to represent Barbados.
Wow.
I'll be taking on the same flying fish and everything. This Caribbean Beach Food Festival is hosted by the Bandawi Experience at the Hyatt Waterfront in Trinidad, downtown Port of Spain. And it's a festival that has like Haiti, Jamaican, Cuba, all the Caribbean, Commonwealth areas in here. Send a chef down to participate and provide a great afternoon of different types of food. And
so you're taking the Barbadian experience.
Correct. Cocoa and flying fish, the game roast breadfruit with some saltfish bojo and some stew lamb and pigtail. Lots of doing down there. Getting sweets, tamarind balls, and different things. Yeah.
What else we doing over there?
There's a lot. This whole week is and I'm speaking at UE on food, nutrition, and security at UE St. Augustine on the 1st of April, which is Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we leave tomorrow, and then we have that food security program for all the agriculturists from around the Caribbean. That leads up to the Caribbean Beach Food Festival. So I'm on a panel. I'm leading a panel 12:30 Wednesday afternoon.
That's great, man. You're working hard.
Yes, please.
I mean, who would have thought, the little CP boy, I look at where
Correct.
food is taking you.
Correct.
How large is your contingent to Trinidad?
With 8.
Only 8 of you?
Only? As a lot?
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking it's a food festival, so therefore there's a lot of work to do.
No, 3 chefs, myself and my 2 chefs from the ladies from St. Lucie, the sisters. We're leaving tomorrow, and then their mom jump in to support, and the friends work with me too as well. So all of us, even my children and I are going, Crystal is going, everybody's going to Trinidad, man.
Okay, so everybody's just sampling. They're not necessarily creating a meal, and people just sit at the tables and have a full meal.
No, it's a party. It's like it's a whole festival, like arts and craft and everything.
Yeah, but
so you getting it's called them tapastel.
Okay.
So smaller bites,
Okay.
not orders, but just bigger than an order. 2-3 bites and it's gone. Yeah,
Okay.
tapastel. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. You can handle that
Yeah.
easily so. And so, what does it take preparing for something like that?
You have to look at traditionally in menus. How can we best represent Barbados on a plate? Pushing our national dish, because a lot of people do not push our national dish when we go there. Always want to create something fancy. So keeping that alive for sure. So I walk in it cost me like $1,000 US for these flying fish.
Whoa.
It's very expensive.
Wow.
$40 or $50 a pot. I got to carry down at small flying fish. The breadfruit for sure. I can't walk with the breadfruits because they weight. But I got my links in Trinidad and Tobago looking for these breadfruits for me, to ensure that I could roast the breadfruit on site for the guests to see that tradition.
Yes.
Of us having there. So we're doing fish cakes for sure, our Bajan's fish cakes. That gonna be inside there for sure. Some conquis.
Ooh, man. Talking stuff here now. Conquis.
Correct. Trinidad gonna pay me.
Yes.
Right, but no, ain't gonna pay me.
Nothing like ours.
Nah.
Nothing like ours at all. So it's going to be a gastronomic delight.
Correct.
And that is when?
Saturday, April the 4th.
Easter weekend.
Easter weekend, yeah.
Easter weekend on Saturday. Boy, it's going to be fantastic.
Correct.
All right. So we settled. What would you recommend as a drink? Because you cook, but therefore I'm sure you're also thinking of what you want to pair it with in terms of a beverage.
Lemonade.
I can't go wrong, right?
Or some Bobby Bark.
Bobby Bark. You do that?
Yes.
You don't, the syrup doesn't work for you?
For my children. But the Morbi bar is good for you, man. Lowers your blood pressure and everything, man. Morbi bar good.
It can
put some bay leaf and thing down. So
if it's not prepared nicely, it can be very bitter.
Correct.
So therefore, how do you prepare it nicely?
Man, things that bitter good for you. Things that bitter good for your person. Or everything that we complain about that's bitter or tastes bad is exactly as you call the highest beneficial nutrients out. But you don't want to add too much sugar. You don't want to add too much to balance it. So just take it.
Bear the taste.
Bear the taste. And let me go down the road.
Indeed, so let me get on the road.
Correct.
Your chicken. Do you prefer stuffed chicken with stuffing, and then strip it up, or I don't know. People, we've gone away from that tradition a lot. We used to make a chicken spread with a lot of people by stripping it. Now, we cut it in quarters and pieces.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't get a boiled strip of chicken now.
Really?
No, you get slaughtered for that. You got to, like for me, we used to stuff our chickens with, I used to get the biscuits.
Yes.
Cut them down with the onions and the herbs and things. Stuff in the chicken.
You understand? You see the cooking of the biscuits?
Yeah.
Add some mackerel to that. You spice it up.
And then put it in chicken?
No.
Oh.
Add some mackerel to that, and that's a meal.
Correct.
But with the cooking of preparing the stuffing, then is what you do with the biscuits, and you stuff the chicken.
I stuff the chicken and then bake it. And then take it and cut it down. If it's soft, you're gonna shock a lot.
Yes.
So you get yourself like that. But if you want to debone it, if you want to get a little fancy, you could debone a chicken whole.
Really?
Debone your chicken whole, everything stays together. Put that same biscuit wrap stuffing in there. You fold your chicken, tie it.
How do you get the bones out and it doesn't fall apart?
You take the breast off the chest plate first, and then once that's off, that middle bone, which is the ribs and the back, then the legs and thigh. Still the skin keeps it together.
Okay.
It's skin, because when you're butchering chicken, you feel the joints. You could squeeze it and then go between the joint. Cuts easy down between the joints. So the skin holds it, and then you debone the leg and the thigh. You have the thigh, the two thighs and the two breasts right there, and you fold it over, or you can wrap it and you tie it.
Oh, you could do that with a raw chicken?
Yes.
Okay.
That's technique. Like if you don't want to serve in your restaurant, you don't want to serve any bones in your chicken. You wrap the chicken, and you have to. If your chicken is congealed, you put it in a full service plastic wrap. So you put the stuff in, wrap it in the plastic or in foil, and you bake it. It congeals together, it holds. And you can slice it in medallions. So
I want you to look at the face of that person sitting over all quizzical, asking, huh?
What happens? And you have to do that. That is normal. The bone chicken whole is normal.
That's not my style. I don't know if I could do it that way, but well done to you. Well done to you.
I see that all around the world. Like if you don't want to serve your bone in chicken, or they have the breast with the French tip, where the wing part like this. You just score around the flap and you pull the meat off here and leave with the bone, the fat. See, so you go to the restaurant, you see the French, you chicken breast cut with the French tip. That's French.
Is that easy to do?
Very easy to do.
All right, I'll try it when I get home.
Very
Adrian, when you're traveling tomorrow, right?
5:15 a.m.
A.m.
Yes,
we meet at the airport. We're coming. But thank you so much as always for spending time with us, my brother.
Thank you very much.
All the best to you and your crew as you head out there to Trinidad and Tobago
you.
to bring the flavor of Barbados to the folks there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
Adrian Cumberbatch, chef extraordinaire, Adrian Cumberbatch from Barbados and from the Coleridge and Paris School, chef of Caribbean. He's heading out to Trinidad and Tobago to represent us. We'll be back with more on Morning Barbados in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.tv, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but he would.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. Barbados needs a stronger system to monitor people when they are granted bail or released after serving time in prison. Director of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, Cheryl Willoughby, says gaps in post-release monitoring are fueling a cycle where young offenders repeatedly return to the justice system. She made the recommendation as the island's latest crime report, released by her unit, identified growing involvement of youth in serious criminal activity. That report notes that many young individuals are entering the system at increasingly younger ages, oftentimes shortly after leaving school. Ms. Willoughby highlighted the cycle of offenders being charged, jailed and released, and often ending up right back in the system owing to gaps in rehabilitation.
Without strong rehabilitation, what do you get? You get high recidivism rates, because if you have inmates going into prison and the problems that they had before going into prison are not addressed, when they return to society, they're not going to have a successful reintegration experience. So therefore, all the work that we are doing must be supported with strong rehabilitation programs within prison and a follow through to these programs when our young people are released from prison. It means that we have to have a support system for persons who are exiting prison.
Ms. Willoughby is also hoping to see parole introduced in Barbados.
I have been an advocate for a very long time for the parole system to be enacted. So I look forward to that, so that at the end of the day, when you release people on early release, that there's a system, a systematic way of monitoring and ensuring that they are employed, that they're supposed to report to you, that they are drug tested frequently, and that they're doing what they're supposed to do.
From today, disaster emergency officials will meet to prepare for the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. That season officially begins on the 1st of June. And the Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Gregory Nichols, says there's never too much planning that can be done to prepare for natural disasters. He was speaking at the Department of Emergency Management's 5K walk and run, dubbed Run Tsunami Run. That event marked the culmination of a month-long series of activities commemorating Coastal Hazards and Earthquake Smart Month.
Emergency Management Advisory Council meeting tomorrow to make sure that we get our plans underway, as the Atlantic hurricane season will soon be upon us. And we will continue to make sure that we do everything to make sure that Barbadians are prepared, and indeed that we are ready to be able to respond to any of our neighboring countries in the Caribbean community that might need assistance from any relief from any natural disaster.
Access to social services in the South is getting a boost. Government has opened a social employment agency client center at Southern Plaza in Oistins. Deanza Roberts reports.
With the cutting of the ribbon and a guided tour of the new facility, the Social Empowerment Agency officially opened its door to the public, marking a major milestone in the delivery of social services in Barbados. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Wayne Marshall, says the agency is focused on strengthening social protection systems and improving the quality of life for citizens.
The agency stands as a testament of government's collective resolve to strengthen social protection systems, promote dignity, and improve the quality of life for individuals and families across our nation. The opening of this client center is therefore a direct expression of that vision. It reflects a deliberate effort to bring essential services closer to the community we serve, ensuring greater accessibility, efficiency, and care.
Minister of Agriculture and Member of Parliament for Christchurch South, Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight, welcomed the opening, noting that demand for such services is already evident.
This is an example, a clear example, particularly because we're doing it in the context of SIA, which is really about service delivery, which is really about being responsive, particularly to those that are most vulnerable. Yeah. Within Christchurch South, I do want to say to you that as I've started my clinics, people have already been coming, again, talking about the assistance that they need, asking questions about welfare.
Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Adrian Ford, emphasized that the agency's mission goes beyond infrastructure. He says they intend to ensure that all persons are seen and heard.
I want persons in Barbados to be able to hear you. Because when they come here, the client champions that we have at the front desk will be able to hear you, hear your concerns, hear your issues, and be able not only to hear you, but to be able to action what we have heard.
He also announced plans to improve accessibility across government buildings and expand services for persons with disabilities. The Social Empowerment Agency says additional centres are planned across the island as government continues its push to modernize and humanize social service delivery. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
The Barbados Diabetes Foundation is reporting measurable gains in the lives of thousands of Barbadians it serves. It says hundreds of people are seeing real results from its interventions. General Manager of the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, Marsha White, shared the statistics at this year's Jamming for a Cause fundraising event. Anesta Henry reports.
Last year, more than 2,000 patients were treated at the Barbados Diabetes Foundation's Maria Holder Diabetes Center. And the general manager of the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, Marsha White, says around 75% of those patients showed significant improvements in their health. She says this is an extraordinary result that reflects the impact of early intervention, ongoing support, and quality care.
Throughout 2025, we were also able to upgrade our clinical tools and facilities. That included new diagnostic equipment for retinal screenings and foot assessments, improved sterilization tools, and the repainting of our center, creating a brighter, more welcoming environment for those we serve.
The foundation also expanded its outreach, launching a new empowerment initiative in collaboration with the disability community called Building Bridges. The program is designed to provide information and advocacy support to help individuals better manage their health.
We played a leading role in a national foot initiative called Save Our Souls, helping to distribute thousands of specially designed orthopedic shoes to people living with diabetes, a vital contribution to the prevention and management of foot complications, especially for those unable to afford proper footwear.
The foundation also continued its prevention work with targeted health education programs for young people endorsed by the Ministry of Education Transformation. During Diabetes Awareness Month in November, the organization also staged its annual Oscar Jordan Medical Symposium, hosted community and corporate screening events. It also partnered in a national walk and run initiative.
None of this could have happened without the generosity of those who give, often quietly, often anonymously, but with deep belief in the work we do. And while we respect the wishes of those who prefer not to be mentioned, we want them to know this. Their impact is real, measurable, and deeply appreciated.
The Black and White themed Jamming for a Cause 2026 is the premier annual fundraiser for the foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Funds raised to help keep the foundation's services affordable, accessible, and compassionate while maintaining the highest standards of care. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Well, 11 young men in St. Michael's Central are set to take part in a new community initiative aimed at helping the elderly, people with disabilities, and residents who can't afford to clear their overgrown lots. That program, called What the Bush, is being rolled out by MP for St. Michael's Central, Tyra Trotman.
On one hand, we're giving 11 young men the
opportunity to get work, so they can gain working experience. They can also grow connections, and then of course we'll be able to give them a reference to say, well, they've done this work for these amount of years or these amount of months, and as such we recommend them. But at the same time as well, it's, you know, money that they can get. So it's contract work. It's not something permanent. It's not government work per se. It's contract work. But we're hoping that after this they can move on then to something permanent.
Ms. Trotman says the team will be on the road 3 days a week and is urging members of the public to treat them with respect. The MP is hoping to increase the number of young men who can participate in the program.
The equipment was given by Serve All Inc., but we would have purchased the equipment from a government grant. So we have, I think it's 11 weed whackers, we have some rakes, and then we have the safety gear, because it's important to keep safety first. And then we're also asking the public if they would like to sponsor us by giving us some funds that we can purchase more equipment, because obviously the more tools we have, then the more lots that we can tend to, and we may be even able to take on some more young men as well.
And that's our news until now. We'll have more news coming up at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hi, my name is Jariah Raw. I'm a third-year law student at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. I chose Cave Hill because of its diversity. Now here in the law faculty, I've met people from all over the region as well as abroad, and that is one of the distinct things about Cave Hill that you won't get anywhere else. Why law? I've just always wanted to be a lawyer. I don't really know why. It's just something that's been my passion. So if you are deciding to do law, Cave Hill is definitely the place to come. The lectures are great, the people are great, and the diversity is unmatched.
University is unmatched, and if you have the passion now, you know where to go. Thank you, young man. And so that's where we're going now, into the Faculty of Law, the Law Faculty of the University of the West Indies at CAFL, considered to be the outstanding faculty in the region, I dare say. And so joining us as we explore what's on offer within is the Deputy Dean in Dr. Ronnie Yearwood. Good morning to you, sir. It's always good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And he's brought along with him the President of the Law Society, Darian Poyot-Lionel. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
And Aliana Campbell, who is the Secretary. Good morning, Aliana. Good morning. So, we oftentimes think that when one enrolls in the law faculty, you want to go in court and argue a case, and that's all that law is about. So let's talk a little bit about the types of programs, the areas of law that are offered at the university.
So I think that's one part of law, and that's what people see on television. You know, they watch Suits, they watch all of these these law programs, but that is just a small component. And to be honest, a lot of lawyers do not actually go to court. So you have corporate law, you have banking, you have finance. These days, a lot of persons go in-house to work for large companies. So you never actually see a court. You do a lot of your legal work in the background. Obviously, if the matter turns into litigation, then that's when you would hire, sometimes you would even hire that external counsel, specialized counsel, who would then go to court. So at the CAFL, basically what we're equipping you with is a law degree. So you learn the core components of law. So constitutional, law and legal systems, criminal, torts, contract, so all of the property, all of the bits of law which we consider core, and then you can go on to specialize in the master's and postgrad, and you'll have some folks on later in the week to talk about that. But at the undergrad, we're just equipping you with those skills and your critical thinking skills. So beyond just being able to argue in court, which is your public speaking aspects and your spoken skills, really to get to that argument, you have to have good critical thinking skills. How do you understand? How do you analyze? How do you break down? How do you apply? Because it's not just about learning the law. It's a big part, as I always tell my students, is about application. You have to take that knowledge and apply it to real life circumstances. There's someone who literally may burst into your office, I've got a problem, this has happened, I'm being divorced, I'm being arrested, you know, whatever the situation, in multiple situations. I'm selling a house, I'm buying a house, everyday problems. Starting a business, you know, trying to save for my kids, trying to set up a trust fund. There's so many things. Every part of your life will be interacting with the law, and we're really trying to equip you. And everyone doesn't have to become a lawyer. That's the other side of it. Often people take that law skill and they take that law degree and they go into business or they go into entrepreneurship. But the point is, a law degree is flexible. It gives you, I would dare say, thinking skills. It teaches you how to think, how to cut through problems and come to solutions.
The young man, before we started, he said, you know, he's just interested, he was just curious about the law, and so he decided to enroll in the law faculty. Is that all it requires to be signed up for the law faculty?
Now I'm going to emphasize this, the minimum requirements, 5 CXCs, English obviously is compulsory, and then 2 CAPE A-level passes, but those are minimum because obviously the law school is competitive. As the young man emphasized, it is a regional campus. It's the most diverse, I would say, of the 3 law faculties. Mona and St. Augustine are the other 2, but really CAFL has held the reputation of the one that has the largest pool of students from across the Caribbean and across the world. It is the oldest law faculty in the Caribbean. It has the largest law library in the Caribbean, most comprehensive collection of materials. So really, and you have, dare I say, some of the emerging scholars in public law and public policy and other areas are at CAFL. To be honest, there's a lot of exciting things happening. Young lecturers have a young faculty. We have some of the more experienced professionals there. So really, CAFL law faculty is the place to be. And I dare see students will back me up on that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll back me up. But what you just described to me says to me that all of the resources I'll need to have a successful outcome are available for me to be at the CAFL campus.
Yeah, so it's not only the physical law library, you have online material, you have access to your lecturers because we have something called office hours. So these are mandated times that lecturers will be there, so you can ask them questions in terms of things that you don't understand in class. It's not only for that. That is for pastoral care, because that's a big part of what we do. It's not just about the actual law degree, but we also care about you as a person, your overall mental health, your overall physical health, their constant check-in to make sure students are doing well. Because, you know, it's one thing to be, you know, hitting the books, but there's other aspects. You're away from home, you're missing your family, people, sometimes you are away, someone you love dies. You know, there's so, like, every day I go into the office, there's just something else happening. Students they're facing something, so many challenges, and our goal is not only to get them through the law degree, but to get them through a life experience as well, because that's what you leave there. Students come in at 18 or 19, and by the time they leave there, you know, you're 20-something. You've literally grown in that period, those 3 years with the law faculty. And sometimes if some folks go on to do the masters, then that's another 4 before they then go on to UWIN, or go on to Mona or go on to Bahamas to do the actual 2 years of the law school before they can practice, because that's the other thing. 3 years for the law degree, 2 years for law school, that's 5, and then you can be called to the bar in whichever country, you know, across the Caribbean that you wish to practice in.
Time goes so quickly nowadays, those 5 years will go in a flash. Exactly. Indeed. But the whole point is you're not left alone. The resources are available to you, but there's a group of people as well who are there for you as a student of the Faculty of Law at the University of the West Indies. Talk to me a little bit about this here now, Darian, about what the Law Society provides for those who are a part of the faculty.
The Law Society, particularly the Caregiver Law Society, is the bridge between the students and faculty. So sometimes, especially the first years, they come in, they're shy, they don't know everything, where everything is who. So you can reach out to me, myself, Aliana, any of our exec members, who we will guide you as best we can. If we cannot handle it, we would point you to the Deputy Dean, to the Dean, to any lecturer or staff, or even just other campus resources that would be able to assist you. We do things like put on seminars, like for example, as Deputy Dean said, there are various areas of law outside of litigation, and this year one of my main missions was to introduce students to that, because students often say a lot of what you see on the outside, as you would have mentioned, is just the litigation, like the suits, the how to get away with murder. So this year I've been very particular about inviting guest speakers who practice non-traditional or areas of law, or areas that you don't often think about, like regulation, in-house counsel, marine law, all the variety of types. We're also responsible for hosting game nights, activities, just to get you not just in the books all the time, just to mix things up a bit.
I mean, after all, you're a full person, and a little bit of social activity is important, indeed. And so, Aliana, here you are. At what year are you in your course of study?
I'm a second-year law student.
Second year. How has it been for you so far?
Honestly, I'd say it's been challenging but also rewarding, because it's a very rigorous degree and it takes a lot of work and a lot of work ethic. But at the same time, when you get it and when the teachers are able to help you and you're able to bond with your students and have these various activities, it ends up being rewarding in the end, because, you know, we come to school with a goal to complete this law degree, and while it is hard, we're able to do it, and it's...
Have you given consideration to specializing in anything at all, or are you just studying for a law degree?
No, I've been considering various specializations, but at the moment I'm still keeping my mind open, because when we get to third year, we're able to take electives and we're able to choose various types of law that we might potentially want to specialize in the future. So for example, there's family law, intellectual property law, trusts, so various areas. So I'm still keeping my mind open, but I have a couple ideas of what I'd like to do, which is somewhere in the civil or corporate area of law.
Not to scare our audience, but how rigorous is it?
Are you sure you want to ask that?
I would say, so we're doing 5 courses per semester in second year, and all the courses have exams, and so it's not just preparing for the exam. We have coursework throughout the semester that we have to complete, and they say law is a reading degree, so you constantly have to be reading, you constantly have to keep up with your work and to ensure you're really digesting the concepts and able to not only apply it in the exam but also throughout the coursework, and to continue in when we go to third year and we have to develop the concepts we learned before for the other electives that we'll take.
allay their fears, Dr. Yearwood. I think, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much of my time is consumed, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I think as Leanna said, it's a reading degree. There's no way to get around it. You can't do a law degree without reading. If you're going to study the Constitution, you have to read the Constitution. If you're going to study corporate law, well, you have to actually read the law. So there's no way to get around reading the cases. It's heavy on reading. That said, the way that a lot of our courses are designed, we do something called Universal Design Learning, UDL, where basically the courses are designed for different types of learners. So we appreciate that everyone is not a read-write learner. Some people may learn by listening, some people learn visually. So we try to ensure that when you design a course, there's content for everybody in that course. That said, obviously it's heavy on the reading, but if you design a course, there'll be a video to cover the area as well, or there'll be written lecture notes, so those who like to read can sit and read those lecture notes. Or the fact is there are lectures, so that you actually have to go to class. So if you like that listening and you like to see slides, then there's the idea is that there's an entry point for every type of learner in the program, so nobody is disadvantaged, even though law is not a practice-based type course. That said, over the years we've developed different types of law where we try to ensure that our students get practical experience. So, for example, we have a trade law program where we connect students with actual trade problems. And over the years, for example, we've had the Bahamas government as a client, we've had the Barbados government as a client, CARICOM has been a client. And when I say client, I mean client because the students actually are doing the legal work for these folks. We've had private entities, some of the run producers as clients, because we're trying to answer real legal problems for these, so students can get hands-on experience in that way. We've expanded our internship program, so students also have chances to have internships in Solicitor General's office, actual Parliamentary Counsel's office, so there are opportunities for that. On top of that, we have our third-year optionals, as where Liana said, where you can just choose and specialize. And we also have summer school. We've introduced summer school that gives students a chance to actually get ahead of their third year, or if they've fallen behind, because things happen. Life happens sometimes, and you need to catch up your opportunities. So we really try our best to ensure that once you start the law program, you are going to finish this law program. We have a low dropout rate, and we want to keep it that way. We want to ensure that everyone finishes, and we will do our best to facilitate and help you. That said, a lot of responsibility has to be on the student. You have to take responsibility for your work. You have to attend your lectures, and I would always say attend your tutorials, because that's where the real unpacking of the material, where the real discussion happens, where you can ask the hard questions, where you can engage with your colleagues. And sometimes tutorials are graded, so you actually have to attend. That's where you present. That's where you get all the skills, and you can make the mistakes before you get into the exam or before you can get into real life. And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes.
That's right.
I think we have to appreciate that. I think sometimes education is presented as this perfect thing. You have to always be right. No, sometimes you're going to be wrong, and actually that's how you learn, because you always can't get it right. So the law faculty is really there to support students. Don't be afraid. If you really are keen and you want to do this, apply. And that's your first step, and we are here to ensure that you not only have a successful law career, but we want to develop you into a full, positive individual, and someone who can contribute to society and use their knowledge to make the best of the spaces around them. That's what we're really trying to do, and that's regional, because as I said, we're not only training lawyers in Barbados. These are, we're covering the entire region. So when you come to the law faculty, you end up with friends from all over the Caribbean, and all of your contemporaries who will end up in different positions in life. So the networking is great. It's just a wonderful place to be, really.
With a heavy emphasis on Caribbean law, which I think is really, really good for us in the region indeed. But I'm also told, Darian, that there are moot cases that you would argue from time to time. Talk to me about the excitement and the opportunities that you would get to have to dip your feet almost into a bit of practice.
Okay, so for a great example would be in November or October, we had the China International Space Law moot, which so the students of CAVIL participated, went to China and won against universities from all over the world. We had recently the Barry's International Arbitration Moot, which is where you get a glimpse into the world of international arbitration and what it's like for various entities in different jurisdictions to deal with a matter and how it's resolved. We recently had the CCJ Moot, which we won last year and came second this year, where you receive a fact pattern and it's the three faculties and the law schools as well as I think schools from Guyana and Suriname who all compete. We came second this year. We also have the World Intellectual Property Moot coming up as well, where you get to really delve into intellectual property, copyrights, patents, trademarks. So it's really a bit of fun. It gives you a glimpse into what life may actually be like as a litigator if that is what you choose. So it's kind of an early taste test of, do I like this, do I not? And then if you do like it, you now have an opportunity to hone those skills before actually going on to law school or in practice.
And everyone has a chance to moot, because this year we made mooting part of your first year in the Law and Legal Systems course, because over the years what's tended to happen is that those who were keen or interested in mooting went to the moots and had these opportunities, but to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to see, because you never know if you're going to, if that's your thing until you do it. Everyone now is required to moot in their first years, and it was we did it last year, and it was actually a wonderful experience for the students, and they gained the experience so that when you leave Cave Hill, everyone can say, I've actually participated in a moot, whether in an in-class moot or whether you've done it for competition purposes.
Wow. And as the carpenter said, we've only just begun. And so this rest of the week, we'll be spending time in the Faculty of Law at the University of the West Indies. And so whether you want to wear the garbs and I don't know if
we don't do the wigs anymore. Colonial.
If you want to do all of those kinds of things, still, the law faculty is for you as well. But if you just want to know, so that you know and use that knowledge in other areas of endeavors as well, you can also study in the Faculty of Law at the University of the West Indies. If you just want to be able to read contracts and better understand the language and how to navigate your way through that, you can study there as well. And so we encourage you to go to the website of the University of the West Indies, search for the Faculty of Law, see what is required of you, and apply. Applications are open, and we want to encourage you to apply today. Whether you're young or old, at any stage of your life, you can be a member of the Faculty of Law. It is not restricted to just teenagers or just early 20s. It's for anyone of any age at any stage of their development as well. You may have your first degree already. Here's your second degree. You never know. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Dr. Ronnie Yearwood, Darian Poyot Lionel, Darren Lionel, and Ariana Campbell, indeed, from the law faculty. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm looking forward to meeting your other colleagues as the week continues. You're welcome.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. We are thrilled to have the teacher and students from the Aline School, because there is something coming up on the 1st of April. Yes, it is. The 1st of April, Wednesday, as a matter of fact, that you have to be at. And that is an opportunity for you to see the brilliance of the 5th form students, the class of the 5th form of the Aline School. And so with me is their teacher, Miss Hammonds. Good morning to you. I'm not going to call your first name because when they get your first name, they won't let it go, right?
I'm sure they already know, but
good morning. Next to her is Mikhail Worrell. We have Jariah Roberts, and she's back, Amor Lord. Good morning to all of you indeed.
Good morning.
So explain to me what's happening on the 1st of April.
Okay, on the 1st of April, the 5th form theater arts students are doing their CSEC production exam, which is a part of their SBA. So they have 5 SBAs, they have to do 3 performance SBAs, and this is their open to the public production. And this will be supported by the 4th formers who will be doing the technical, and some of the other Aline School teachers and students are also a part of this big presentation.
The Theatre Society, I haven't heard about that at the Aline School until now.
Yes, the drama club, yeah, that's what we have. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And how open and receptive have students been to this opportunity to be a part of theatre?
Oh, it's fantastic. You should see the amount of students who come. They support by spending their lunch working on the props, working on the technical cues, figuring out what songs they want. It's a full school effort, honestly.
Brilliant. And so Wednesday, what's on stage? What's on show for all of us?
Well, it will be Gun Boys Rhapsody, which is a play written by the Bahamian playwright Ian Strawn, Dr. Ian Strawn at that. And this is an epic poem style, so there will be a series of monologues, but it will be around the sensitive topic of gun violence. So
which is part of our dialogue generally anyway. And if you want to hear it from the perspective of our students from the Aline School, you need to show up. It's on Wednesday in the school auditorium.
Yes, sir.
What time?
It's in the school auditorium at 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
Yes, please. The doors open at 5:30.
Open at 5:30, 6 p.m. And so therefore, how do I get in? Do I just show up and walk right through?
Yes, there will be tickets available.
Okay. Tickets available. Mikhail, where can I get my tickets from?
You can get your tickets at the gate. It is $5 a ticket.
Okay, so just come, pay my $5 and walk right through and wait for this Rhapsody. Now, Rhapsody involves music.
Yes, it does.
Are you ready to what? Sing, chant? What are you doing?
Well, we have to sing in the beginning and in the end. Well,
don't spoil the surprise.
Right. But I will be singing in the end, all of us together. So I'm excited to put my voice out for all of you to hear.
Wow. Are you excited? Are you really pleased to be a part of this drama production?
Yes, I am. I've always been interested in drama and in film in general. In fact, I've always planned to be a part of the film community and to get a job in film as a director, to do the job that Miss Hammond is doing right now.
You get that one chance. And so, you've always been interested. When you heard at the end of 5th form you are going to be doing this, and you saw what it's called, Gun Boys Rhapsody, what kind of research did you do in preparation?
In preparation, I looked up what Rhapsody was because I've never heard the word before. I saw it was a play filled with like monologues, so it's a very monologue heavy play. And in preparation, I read some speeches from the Prime Minister of Egypt in preparation to really get in the mindset of what a monologue was like.
But you also have to get into character.
Yeah.
So what do you have a character that you're going to be portraying on Wednesday?
Yes, my character is TK, Travis Culinary. I have an older brother in the play, and I don't want to spoil it for you, honestly.
Okay, fine. So you're going to be in character, costuming, no doubt, and you're ready. You're ready to show the world that you, Mikhail, are to be taken seriously in theatre.
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And so how long is your monologue?
A monologue?
It's really long, right?
Yes. They're really long.
Commit this to memory.
Yeah, I could say my monologue from start to finish.
Easily?
Easily. I've practiced my monologue at any chance I could get, so that when I go on stage, I can, impress everyone with my good performance.
Well done. And there's nothing that could distract you to make you go off?
Nothing.
All right. I love your confidence. I love it. Are there other young men like yourself a part of the production in terms of performers?
Yes, sir. There is a tall one. His name is Rashad.
Yeah. The tall one.
Right, and Shadon. He is another tall one.
You're the shortest of the bunch.
No, not the shortest.
Right, there's Josiah and there's Tyreek Roberts.
Wow, this is fantastic. I'm really so pleased with this.
And honestly, there were quite a number of boys in this group, which is kind of rare in theatre, so it was fantastic to find a production that catered to that and looked at contemporary issues, because this group of young people want to talk about society, want to talk about what's going on. So it's been fantastic to support them with this.
Wow, this is nice. And so, Jariah, what's your character?
Well, I am Melinda, I changed it, Melinda Sims. I am a politician.
And so, have you patterned your performance after any existing politician?
No, I have not. I feel like that'd be wrong-ish because of how my character is. If you come and watch the play, you will see why I could not pattern it behind anybody.
No, you have me real curious. really, really curious.
That's the plan.
So first, don't forget, this is Wednesday, beginning at 6 in the evening.
Yes, sir.
Doors open around 5:30. You just pay $5 at the door. You come in to see the brilliance of the 5th formers of the Allen School. And so in terms of being able now to memorize, you're doing a monologue as well?
Yep, every single character has a monologue.
Everyone has a monologue, but yours follows someone else's monologue. How is this going to work?
Yes, it's a narrative, but each character gets to have their moment to speak. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to come on stage as big bad Miss Politician and say what you have to say.
Yeah.
When you began your research into not just your character alone, but what you have to say, what do you think is important about the message you want to share?
Well, I really just think that when we were given the play, I was a little shocked because I see the name and I was like, what is this about? This seemed little. But as I read it and I researched more about the topic of gun violence and stuff, I came to understand it and see how important it really is for us to do this, to give the young people a voice, a speech, so everyone in the community can understand how important it is to really just stop the violence.
Yeah, to see what y'all are going through. you young people. So, and why sometimes it results in the way that it does. And if it together as a society, we can fix this. We can fix this indeed, but we need to listen, right? So, in theatre, is this something you want to do forevermore?
Yep, I definitely plan on continuing with theater. It's very fun, but serious at the same time, and it feels like me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Miss Hammond, that is beautiful. That's such a statement. It feels like me. And for anyone to get on stage and feel like me, it takes a little while for some people, but here it is. She's singing this.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, this group of young people have been very supportive. When I presented the play to them, I said, we can look at these difficult themes or we could not, because it does deal with things like loss, grief, mental illness, and they were so ready to take on the challenge and so ready to tell their story and to let their voices be heard, not just as actors but as advocates. Wow. So it's been fantastic to see them come into their own and use their voice for change.
You know who uses their voice for change? Amor, Lord, Amor. Good morning again to you. What are you talking about in your monologue?
What am I talking about in my monologue? I am talking about a woman who's going through the struggles of life. It feels like every turn she's just getting beat into, and then the final blow happens and she doesn't know what to do.
She doesn't know what to do, but she has a plan, doesn't she?
Of course, everyone has a plan.
Talk to me about your career in theatre so far.
My career in theatre is one that I'm building. I have gone through many avenues such as Operation Triple Threat to build this, and I even find that in the space it is something that I used to help me, you understand? And when I came to theatre, half of the things that Miss Hammonds was teaching, I was like, oh my God, I know this. So I was excited even before I came to theatre, as like Miss Hammonds could tell you. From Terrifying was saying, Miss Hammonds, I can't do it now. I can't do theatre arts right now. Because I am very passionate about this.
You have to control your eagerness to do it, right? And now here you are. But theatre requires you to be aware of the space in which you're operating, where you find your light, stand in your light. And so talk to me a little bit about the skills required to be able to know where you are so that you're in the right spot where you need to be.
You mean stage-wise? Well, know where I am? It depends on your director. You understand? You always have to listen to your director and what your director is telling you. You have to be aware of your surroundings. For example, if you're going through a scene with many people, you can't be hitting into people. You can't be doing what you want to do in the scene. You have to be controlled. Even if it's a scene with chaos, it has to be controlled chaos. So I feel like that's very important. It's always about safety in theatre. So as much as we practice fun, and it's very dirty though, but is very much about safety.
I'm so impressed, girl. Well done. You know your theatre. And so, Ms. Hammond, how many members are in the cast to perform?
Well, there are 11 speaking roles because there are 11 students being examined. It is an examination at the end of the day. And then there are some contributing members, so at least 2 other actors in there across the spectrum. Like I said, the Alien School Full Effort mission, really. And yes, that's the cast at the present moment. We do hope to, we have looked to include the choir as well. So it will be quite a large cast, I'd say.
So it's a great reason for you to come out on Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening, the Alien School in the auditorium is where you're headed for Gun Boys Rhapsody by Ian Strawn. He is a Bahamian playwright, and so you have to come. I hear this cast of really, really well-rehearsed, very experienced already, it seems to me, performers who are going to share with you deep messages indeed. It's targeted at those 13 and older.
Yes.
So the little 5-year-old is not for you. For 13 and older indeed, because it attends some mature subject areas, sensitive subject areas. And so we want you to come though. $5 at the gates of what you pay, and then you come right through and you are in the right spot at the right time to be a part of the examination of our 11 students indeed. So I want you to come, folks. Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Doors open at 5:30. Be there. Drinks and food and drinks on sale.
Yes, there'll be food and drinks on sale to support the graduating class of the Alien School.
Good. Now we know. Now we do. So Wednesday, 6 o'clock, the Alien School is where we're going for what you see right there on your screen. Gun Boys Rhapsody written by Ian Strawn and performed by the Drama Club of the Allen School on Wednesday. Thank you all. Best of luck to everyone. As they say in theatre, go break a leg. Well then, thank you so very much indeed. All the best. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are 7 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock, and I want to use those 7 minutes to really understand Rachel Agard's Easter traditions in Trinidad and Tobago as a little baby girl and growing up. And those, don't look at me like that.
I'm still a baby.
There you go. See, that's why I had to pull back with my enthusiasm. So, what are some of the traditions at Easter in Trinidad?
Well, for starters, right now the house will be picked apart.
Again?
Yes.
You did that for Christmas.
And you have to clean again.
Apologies.
I think it's to bring in the spring air and to bring in Jesus.
I got you.
With the resurrection and everything. So right now the house is all picked apart. Getting ready to put up curtains and everything. If you're like the older people, things will be being put away this week. So by Wednesday or so, the house will be all put away. And from like maybe today, you'll be out in the market, making sure you get your provisions and what have you, because all we eat in Trinidad on Good Friday is provision and fish.
Really? No rice, macaroni, or anything, sir?
No, sir.
So provisions are the potato,
sweet potato, dashing, cassava, yam, tanya, and fish.
What's tanya? A root crop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel I need to carry you to Trinidad, you know.
Booked. I'm ready. I am ready.
Carnival is the first experience you need. But let me don't talk about carnival. We in length.
All right. So in Barbados, we have this thing, you know, on first of all, on Good Friday, there's a tree that if you cut it, it bleeds.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
Somewhere in my travels, yes.
Are there any similar things like that in Trinidad?
I am actually not certain. I've never heard of anything like that, but I do know you have to crack the egg.
The egg. Mm-hmm.
Put it in the sun early. I've never actually done that before. Yes, you have to crack it. And whatever shape it takes. If it's a church, you might be getting married that year.
Go ahead.
If it takes the form of a ship, you might be sailing somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to crack the egg, person, to see what form it takes.
I can't remember. Too old for that now. And so, do you have anything similar in Trinidad?
The tree?
No, the egg,
cracking the egg? Yeah, you have
y'all
to
do that too?
Yes, you have to crack the egg.
No, but y'all do that too?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have what I totally look forward to every year, the Good Friday Bubbly.
What is that?
It is actually an effigy of Judas, but in more recent years, it has become an effigy of somebody you might be mad with. So, for example, if I am mad with Ruel, if I vex with Ruel, he become the effigy, and we beat the living daylights out of him.
That's
the
easy
Good
to do.
Friday Bubbly.
Can we practice here?
Of course we can. And in some communities, they even erected like on a stick or something with wheels and pass it all through the neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah. And everybody come and get a hit. Yes,
effigy.
like a piñata, like beating a piñata. Yeah.
And you're letting off your steam, you're letting off all your negative energy, and then take a deep breath and you're good to go again.
And then you go to church on Sunday and have this big Easter egg hunt. I always look forward to that. So I keep on that tradition with Chriselle. We pack all the eggs all over the place, and she get all these little clues that she has to figure out and go hunting. And then you get a big Easter egg basket full of chocolates at the end.
Through the village?
No, at home.
Oh, at home.
Or the Easter bunny comes and visit you.
Come on.
Yes. You see, shucks, I forgot to put on my ears this morning. Yeah.
So, as there is a Santa Claus at Christmas, there's an Easter bunny who comes to visit.
Of course there
at
is.
Easter.
And I always had chocolates to go look for. Mommy made sure my sister, my brother, and I had to go and look for eggs. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a whole thing.
It is a little too much of a whole thing to be.
And then you fly your kites. I admit I did not actually fly a kite until I was about 21. That's when I flew my first kite. And now that I have that under the bag, I don't need to do it anymore. Once was enough for me, and I am good. Chriselle usually goes most years and flies her kite. But I think it's a big thing here. I just don't like to hear them at night.
Well, those were the noisy bits.
Yes, but Easter is just a whole thing over there.
So that tells me you've never built a kite.
Absolutely not. No. My kite was custom made.
Yes.
The one that I had. Oh, and you cannot go to the sea on Good Friday.
You could not.
Absolutely.
Trinidadians believe that too?
Yeah.
I thought it was a major thing.
No, you cannot go to the sea.
Yeah, I know.
You know what's the sea name?
No. What's the sea's name?
Take a wild guess.
I can't.
Rachel. You never heard that before?
Never did.
Ask a very old fisherman and he will tell you.
From Trinidad?
No.
You've heard that here?
Yes.
That the sea is called Rachel?
Yes.
Do you have any idea why?
I have no idea, but I also know it has no back door.
I know that. But does it make sense to call it Rachel?
It depends.
On?
The time of the day, I guess. And the tides.
See why I like this girl? I enjoy working with this girl. She keeps me on my feet, indeed. And so, do you do baking, that kind of thing, around Easter as well?
You can. You have the traditional cakes.
In other words, y'all don't do that?
Yes,
okay.
You can, but some people, they don't do it as much as in years gone by. And our hot cross buns taste way different than the ones here. Even after 30 years, I still cannot get used to the ones here. They just taste different. I think the ginger sometimes, but even the ones without so much ginger, they just have a different taste than the ones back home.
Yours tastes better or worse? Watch your words.
Well, that's open to argument. You know, sometimes you could accept other tastes and sometimes you don't.
Yes.
So it depends. It depends. Mommy has a thing about the ones here because she likes the ginger taste. But me not so much.
Okay, that's what it is. The C's name is Rachel. Yes, Patricia Ben says. Patricia, I have never ever heard that.
Yes, the C name is Rachel.
Okay. I have to do some further research on this. But Rachel, is always good to sit down with you.
Always
Good to
my
sit down.
pleasure, Pearson.
Yeah, we got to hook up some more, talk some more.
For sure.
For sure. All right. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My little crew joins with me in saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Be the will of the Lord. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up.